roundtable, where we have a singular topic of discussion that we discuss. And for this roundtable, we're doing a little duality here, a little yin yang, a little dark and light, right? We've talked about how delayed games have been the theme of 2021. It's going to be a red hot year for 2022, which had us thinking, you know what? What games have we bought or experienced that were delayed that ended up being one of the best games we've played, and what delayed games have ended up being one of the worst games we've played? I think it's a nice little fun thought experiment. So to start this off, let's start with the worst games. Let's get the bad out the way, go to the good. Now, I'm going to take a leap here and say that, David, we kind of know your game. I think it's a great selection. Would you mind going first?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
All right, so starting with the worst delayed games, I, of course, chose Cyberpunk because we all know the monstrosity of a dumpster fire that release was.
Yep.
Now we know it, it was playable. Corey put 30 hours into it. He liked the game, but so many people had problems. I had a problem. I can't continue the game. I have to restart it from start. Yeah, I was only 2 hours in, but that's just annoying in general. And, what is it? A year later, now it's like playable without major issues.
Yeah, still having issues with next gen
Yeah, so see,
versions of it, but
there's
yeah.
still some things up in the air. Like,
Yeah.
it was rushed, and we've had this discussion many times. This game should have came out next year or something.
Yeah.
It just made a lot. Everyone really hated Project Red there for a little bit.
Yeah, which is rare because we love them so much. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, it was so 180 of them. But yeah, I mean, not much else to say that I haven't said before. It's Cyberpunk.
Yeah. Yeah. It was. We were all disappointed when we got it. One of us even returned theirs.
After 30 hours.
Yeah. So.
After 30 hours, it crashed over 30 times on me. I know it
I
did.
would.
It was,
Yeah.
Oh, holy crap.
It was sad because this is a good pick, David, because you can't get away with launching something that buggy, that messy. And unfortunately, at the core of it, it still had good bones of a game. It had good systems.
It has great potential.
But man, it's just they were pressured to release it too early. So it's unfortunate.
Yeah. Corey.
Yeah.
I'm here. Offer your worst.
I'm actually picking a game that's, I think, pretty well received as well, even probably more so than Cyberpunk, but this is almost like a feel type thing. So now there was this game announced, and I pre-ordered it for my brother for Christmas. I got him a little pre-order card, and it was supposed to come out early that next year, and it ended up getting delayed 3 times, and I think he received it 2 Christmases later. Bioshock Infinite. Now, Bioshock, the first game, is one of mine and my brother's favorite games. The atmosphere is there, the story is amazing, and we were pumped for Bioshock Infinite. Very, very excited for it. And it felt like as the game kept getting delayed, the excitement dwindled and dwindled and dwindled until finally, when it did come out, it was just a melted ice cream cone. Nothing you can do with it. It just was it was dead. It was dead for us. And like I said, it's renowned. It's a good game, but it just didn't live up to the hype. And by then, it felt like it had passed its time a little bit. But still, I will say it's a good game. It's just, for me personally, a delayed game that was just no bueno for us.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a good. You already had lofty expectations with it being a Bioshock game.
Right.
It took so long to come out. The excitement wore down, all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
You can only be hyped for so long for something.
Yeah. My worst one, believe it or not, it's going to be exciting. No Man's Sky does not make the list here. The one that I had that was worse for me was a little game called L.A. Noir. Okay. Super pumped being a Grand Theft. Yeah. It being a Grand Theft Auto fan. reading about LA Noir, I'm like, oh, this is basically going to be GTA from the cop perspective, 1950s LA. This is going to be
Oh.
absolutely awesome. You read like all the different stuff that was coming out with it, and it was not that. It was a and other thing about it too, just to add some more context, is that was also the year I went out to LA to work on like a movie or whatever, and one of the actors in that movie did face acting for one of the perps you bust early in that game. Actor's name is Daniel Roebuck, and he played a pedophile. Great. But so the pacing at the beginning is great. I'm getting into it. There's a couple of faces. The main guy is one of the guys from Mad Men. I'm like, okay, this is cool, and it just peters out. It becomes tedious. The interrogation mechanism is cool, but a lot of times it just didn't make sense in regards to the questions you would ask, how they would respond, and what that was supposed to lead you to. The arc of the character was fine, but it was a little bit ungratifying towards the end. And yeah, this game took 7 years. Like you gotta give me better, man. And I was this game came out, I believe, after GTA 4. So I'm already disappointed with GTA 4. Then I get LA Noir, and that's booty. Like, what gives? So I remember just being super disappointed. I remember cracking it open. It was a 2-discer. I'm like, oh, this is going to be legit. I had the whole little thing with the map, had the map of old Los Angeles and everything, but it just didn't pan out, man. Was not good stuff. For a
Yeah,
game
that's
that I think many people probably consider to be pretty decent. It's kind of the
I was about
same.
I was about to say, I think we all picked pretty highly rated games right there.
Yeah,
At least decent ones. Wow. Okay.
yeah. All of them somewhat open world too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, now let's go to the best delayed game that we've played. David, you started it. Start it again.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So mine's probably obvious if you guys even think
Oh
about it.
yeah. Oh yeah.
It is The Last of Us 2, Part 2. Now, that game took forever to come out, but it was so worth the wait. It was such a great game. I liked the way the story arc went. I just the feel of the game, the looks of it. It was just an all amazing game. Like I want to play it again. But I don't have my friend's PS5 anymore or PS4 anymore, sorry. And I'm gonna have to get it whenever I get a PS5.
Yeah.
But it won the Game Year of the War award last year, didn't it?
It
So
did,
that
unfortunately,
just
yeah.
yeah. So that just says it all right there.
Yeah.
It's a great game.
Yeah.
It's a very good game. It's a great game. Yeah.
That's the best delayed game ever.
I
Okay.
I've actually got a better delayed game than you, unfortunately.
Oh,
What do
oh.
you got?
So let me take you back to January 2013. Nintendo announces a little game called Breath of the Wild coming out to the Wii U in 2015. Now, given the circumstances with the Wii U being as poor of a system as it is, it got delayed to 2016, eventually into 2017, where it would become the greatest launch game of any system ever when it came out on the Switch. And thank God it did, because the Wii U was a dead system. So you have a brand new open world Zelda game that's releasing the same day as their brand new hybrid console. And
Yep.
there was nothing as sweet as playing Breath of the Wild on the day you got a Switch. It was magnificent. It changed the formula for Zelda. It taught everyone how to make open world games where nothing is closed off to you. You can go anywhere in the world, truly. You can climb anything. You can go anywhere from the beginning. It is one of the greatest games ever made, no doubt. And it was the greatest delayed game because it was delayed 3 times. People were worried. And then it launched with the Switch, and the rest is history.
That's
Well, I can see why there's so much hype for the second one.
It's an amazing game.
right. Especially since I had it as my number one game art style. It's a
Right.
fantastic game. It is one of the greatest games ever made. It absolutely
Yes.
is. Yeah. That's a great selection. I
Thank
was
you.
very close to picking that myself. Luckily, I didn't, so that way we wouldn't have a repeat. Yeah, you might be surprised what mine is. But I remember I'm a first-person shooter guy, right? I'm not good at them, but I enjoy them. Zipping around back in the day playing Unreal, zipping around playing Quake, zipping around playing Doom, right? So the game that I was most anticipating was Doom 4. But we never got Doom 4. You know what we did get? Doom 2016.
Mm.
Doom 2016 came in like a bat out of hell. Amazing graphics, tons of gory splendor of beating demons, ripping their hearts out, ripping them in half. It's fast, it's frantic. That music is absolutely incredible. And I think, much like Breath of the Wild helped elevate RPGs, right? That Doom 2016 has put a new step into first-person shooters. There's less shooters now are exploring more of the Call of Duty kind of like, boom, 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 stop, boom, 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 stop. And it's much more about movement and motion again, right? And that's what Doom does and did best, right? I remember when I first saw it, seeing that trailer, I was giddy. And then Anita Sarkeesian started saying stuff, and I was like, please, not right now, right? I just absolutely loved it and was looking forward to it, and it delivered. Played Doom 2016, played Doom Eternal. I actually liked 2016 more than Eternal, but Eternal was good too. But yeah, Doom, man, that was a hitter. That was an absolute hitter. Now I'm waiting for Quake. I want a Quake. I don't think we'll ever get one again. I don't know, but I want a Quake next. So that was it for me, man.
Could
Doom
you
2016.
please?
Yeah.
Could you please give me a Quake? Yeah, because Quake has you dealing with people. Quake, you're killing people.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Doom,
the game I used to
you're
play
killing
in keyboarding
demons.
class.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll teach you how to keyboard. That's for sure. Yeah. All right, that is our roundtable for best and worst delayed games. Guys, just let us know what game was delayed that ended up being terrible, and what game came out that ended up being absolutely great. There's tons of choices out there.